Booksmith, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the little studio tour. That's what my husband and I and my mom did last weekend for the most part, was tear apart my room, and we put in the new cabinets, which we got online. You know, you order them and then they come and then, you know, you assemble them. So that takes a minute. I really think they should send somebody along to put those together for you, but they don't. So we had to put those together, and then we got these butcher block countertops also online, very reasonably priced, and we were able to put it all together by ourselves. And then I kind of cannibalized some things from other parts of the house, and I took a trip to Target because Target. So what we're going to do today is I wanted to do a little project that you can use in your journals, whether you use it as a page or on a page or as an element, or, you know, something like that. And what we're going to start with, this is a canvas duck cloth, and it's basically what they make like tote bags out of. So they have this at most fabric stores. You will find it in the utility fabric section. And I got this mustardy golden yellow color because what we're making today is going to be like a policy envelope. So I have this template, and I will be putting it in Flickr. So the link will be below the video. You can go to Flickr and get this template if you want to make it. And the reason why I chose the duck cloth is because it's pretty stiff. It's pretty rigid. Of course, it has the sizing still in it, so that helps. But if you don't have a thicker fabric, you can even take like a quilting cotton, and you can use like starch, spray starch, and spray it nice and stiff and iron it so it gets nice and stiff. You can also use something like Heat and Bond, which is an iron-on adhesive, and you could put 2 layers together with some Heat and Bond in the middle, and that will also make a stiffer fabric. But I like this color, and I think it's going to work well because it's kind of the color of a manila envelope, right? So what I did, though, because, you know, you can't leave well enough alone, is I went ahead and aged mine. And so, you know, you can tea stain or use some distress ink or however it is that you like to age your materials. And I should have enough for a couple here if I play my cards right. And what I do is I'm going to just lay the template down on the fabric, and then I am just going to trace along the edge with a pencil. It doesn't matter. You can either erase this later, or, you know, it's grungy, so it's okay if there's a little bit of pencil line. You can use chalk. There's all kinds of things you can use. You won't probably see it anyway because you're going to be cutting on that line. And I don't know if you can, there you can see it a little bit, right? And so I'm just going to proceed to cut this out. All right, so I have it all cut out, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch all the way around the edge in a zigzag stitch real quickly. So here we go. We are all sewn around the edge, and you are welcome to iron this if you would like. I'm just going to do just some little finger presses because it doesn't matter too horribly much. If it has some sizing in it, it will probably finger press pretty well. At this point, you can turn this puppy over, and if you want to put stamps on it, go ahead and do that. If you want to stamp your name on it, if you want to add some other embellishments, like if it's going to be like postal mail, or if you wanted to add other kinds of stamping to it, now is a good time before it's all glued together. But what we're going to do is I'm going to grab some buttons, and you know the envelopes have the little buttons. Well, they have the discs with the eyelets in them, but I'm not going to do discs with eyelets. I'm going to do buttons. So make sure this is all pressed down evenly, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this together because it's not real tight to where you wouldn't be able to sew in there. So I'm going to go ahead and run some glue along the stitch line here. So just press that down. And then down here, I'm going to run some glue along the bottom edge over here. And then we'll just fold that up. So here is our little coin envelope. All ready to go. And let me get my needle out. That's a good one. And we can pick out our buttons, and you can match them, you can mix and match. Let me zoom in a little bit here. You can mix and match. You could do a big button and a little button. That one is up to you. You can kind of mess with this and see what it is that you want. See what it is that you want to do. Here's what the littler buttons look like if you like more of a smaller button. So that will be up to you. I'm not sure. I'm going to thread my needle here, and I'm going to grab some buttons, and we'll just sew something on. I'm just using regular, just all-purpose cotton thread. Nothing fancy. But you can certainly use something fancy if that's what you want to do. Okay. And I think, what do I think? Do I like these two? I think I like those two. So I'm going to sew this button onto here, and just with a needle and thread, just tack it down. I'm just going to knot this off underneath. The zigzag stitches will help keep it from fraying too much. I mean, you want it to fray a little bit, so but the zigzag stitches will help it to keep from fraying. If you are not going to sew, maybe use a little bit of fray check or something like that to stop your stitches from fraying too badly if it's a fabric that will fray easily. If it's not a fabric that frays, then don't worry about it. Like felt and like upholstery, like the suede fabrics, they're not going to fray, that kind of stuff. But you don't have to sew it by any means if you don't want to. And then this guy, just kind of fold this over and just kind of, about there. Just kind of even it up, make sure it's straight up from the bottom. And just as easy as that. You can certainly sew this on ahead of time. It's just harder to line it up. You could always just put some fake stitches through the buttonholes and then glue the button on as well. And use a smaller needle. My goodness, this needle is massive. And then somewhere under the button, I'm just going to bring both of those out. I'm going to separate the double thread here, and I'm going to put one on one side and one on the other side, and then I will tie it to each other on the opposite sides so that it won't come loose. I'm going to grab some of this baker's twine in a green. Fold that over, tie that around there like that, and make a knot. And if you want to leave one of these tails hanging, you can, it'll unravel. And then you just make it long enough to where you can go down around the other button however many times you would like. And then just leave it long. And then tie a knot at the end of this one so that it doesn't unravel on you. Okay, so cute, right? So you can use these for gifts, for putting in, you know, money or a card or all kinds of things. You can use these in your journals as part of your decoration for your journal page. You can, you know, put little doodads in. You can also, before you glue them together, let me grab my other one here. Like here's another one. Before you glue them all together, you can punch holes in one of these side hinges, and you can sew it in with your pages, and then when it's sewed into your book, into your signature, then you glue it together. I haven't folded this right, but then you glue it together, and then you have an envelope already folded and inside your journal. But anyway, I thought you guys might like that. I hope you find some use for these little textile coin envelopes, and I hope you decorate them and add all kinds of interesting stamping and stuff to them. But I kind of like mine plain. All right, guys, I will be back super soon because I have another DIY for you, another very, very quick one, so it'll probably be tomorrow. Super quick DIY video that I think you're gonna like. Another way to use up your paper scraps, for a hint there. Still working on a couple of journals, and of course the courses that are coming up as soon as I can finish those. So thank you for stopping by today. Thank you for checking out the little studio tour, and I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Bye, guys.